Most people feel a little disappointed when a friend cancels dinner at the last minute, but for a specific kind of person, that text message doesn't feel like a loss. It feels like winning the lottery. You see the notification, and your shoulders instantly drop 3 inches. You cancel the Uber, you kick off the shoes you didn't want to wear, and suddenly, the night is yours again. But here's the weird part. That rush of relief, it's not just happiness. It's your body signaling that you were about to pay a price you couldn't afford. Let's start with the obvious. You probably tell yourself you're just tired, or maybe you've convinced yourself you're turning into a hermit. But look at what actually happens when you force yourself to go. You're standing in a crowded bar, you're nodding at a story you can't hear, you're smiling while your brain is secretly calculating exactly how many minutes until you can order an Uber without being rude. That isn't a social failure. That is a transaction. And your brain knows you are getting ripped off. See, every single interaction has a hidden price tag. The noise, the small talk, the sheer calorie burn of performing fun. Most people pay that tax without blinking, but you see the bill before you even walk in the door. In economics, this is called opportunity cost. It's the realization that saying yes to the noise means saying no to your own stability. You are reallocating. But there is something else happening behind that closed door. Because when the noise finally stops, you don't actually turn off. You switch processors. You know that moment when you're staring at the ceiling at 11 p.m. and suddenly you're replaying a conversation from 3 years ago? Or you're simulating a fight you haven't had yet? You aren't checking out. You are booting up a high-fidelity simulator. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network. It is a specific system in the brain that only activates when you stop focusing on the outside world. It audits your memories. It connects patterns you missed while you were busy nodding at strangers. The world calls it boredom, but your brain treats it like a necessary system update. And if you skip it too many times, the system starts to crash. But there is a second reason you lock that door, and it has nothing to do with resting. It has to do with the signal. See, out there, your attention is under siege. We don't like to admit it, but modern life is designed to fracture you. Every billboard, every notification, every fragmented conversation at the next table, it's all demanding a piece of your working memory. You feel it, don't you? That low-level static in the back of your skull. It feels like your brain is a web browser with 100 tabs open, and music is playing from somewhere you can't find. That isn't just stress. That is your brain getting stuck in the orienting response. When you are out in the wild, your system has to track the waiter, map the exits, and filter the background bass. You are burning raw processing power just trying to maintain a baseline. You aren't living, you're buffering. So when you stay home, you aren't just relaxing. You are building a Faraday cage. You are creating a clean room where the data stops leaking. It's the only place left where you control the inputs. You decide the lighting. You decide the volume. You decide if there is noise or if there is silence. It's basic signal hygiene. And in an economy that mines your attention for profit, that's leverage. You aren't staying home to hide from people. You are staying home to protect the integrity of your own mind. You are buying back the ability to think in a straight line. By cutting the connection to the network, you finally get enough bandwidth to think in your own voice. And sure, you are conserving resources for the things that actually matter, but a battery that never drains eventually loses its capacity to hold a charge. The safety of home protects you, but it also narrows you. You get safer, but you get smaller. And that's the risk. You have to know when to open the door. If you want to understand what your quiet is actually doing to you, then you belong here. Welcome home.